It's Christmas time. And if you're anything like I was early on in recovery, I was dreading Christmas. I'll never forget our first Christmas post-disclosure. We were in this apartment here in Austin, and it was Christmas morning, and we had bought a bunch of presents for the kids, and my daughter, who was about 5 at the time, in the middle of our Christmas opening of presents and all that, my daughter put on her new dress and looked at me and said, "Look at me, Daddy." And I fell apart, just was sobbing at Christmas morning. And I remember I wiped my eyes and I looked over at Samantha, and Samantha was looking at me something like this: "You should be feeling so much more pain." It was not the best morning. Christmas as a whole was very difficult, and for those of you that are maybe early on in recovery or even several years down the road from disclosure, Christmas can be extremely difficult. It can be painful. Yesterday I was driving and I heard this radio interview, and this woman was talking about how she was really struggling to not have just another Christmas. And it kind of hit me. For the couple that's trying to heal from infidelity, for the couple that's been through this level of crisis, there is no more of an ordinary Christmas. It's done. And it really has become a gift to me. It's the absolute truth that our trauma has really produced in me a whole new level of awareness and thankfulness during particularly Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm sure you could say, "How do you figure, Samuel, is this a gift and it's really enriched Christmas or Thanksgiving?" Well, I'll tell you this. I know what it's like to consider the fact that we may have been divorced for all impending Christmases after disclosure. When I look at our Christmas tree now, when I look at our presents, it reminds me of our restoration, of our journey, of what we've been through. There is no, it's just another Christmas, because I have a whole new level of thankfulness for what Christmas could be like right now. It's really helped me understand that it's very easy to imagine myself being alone on Christmas, or having to split the kids with Samantha during the holidays. By the grace of God and a million other reasons, we won't be doing that, and we have never had to do that. So I am incredibly thankful. So my awareness during the Christmas season is off the chart, man. I mean, it doesn't take much for me to become emotional. It doesn't take much for me to be jarred. It doesn't take much for me to really enjoy the moments that Christmas provides, because I almost lost all of that. So unfortunately, the biggest mistake of my life had to teach me lessons I sure wish I would have learned on my own, but let's face it, I wouldn't have learned those because I'm too self-absorbed and I'm too much of a wreck, and that's just culture. But we are able to enjoy Christmas because of the fact that for what Christmas meant to us for 10 years was almost ripped away. So I want to give you just one bit of advice that helped me, that someone told me. He said, during the Christmas season, make your heart a manger. And I was like, that's Hallmarky or, weird. And if you're not a Christian, I'm going to share some things with you that'll help you too. But if you're a Christian or subscribe to faith, make your heart a manger. Cultivate within you a sense of expectation. Number one, have a realization that we need a Savior. I mean, what a good opportunity right now in your life to realize how desperately you need a Savior, how desperately you need redemption, how desperately you need forgiveness, how desperately you need hope, and how desperately you need courage to go through what you're going through. And as you cultivate this heart of a manger, It's about expecting promise. It's about expecting breakthrough. It's about a life of expectation that you're going to experience freedom. If you're not a Christian, then I want to tell you, you can still cultivate a heart of expectation to make it through what you're going through. You can still have within you a sense of hope and a sense of expectation that you're not going to simply die and have this life of depression and hopelessness forever. And finally, Christmas has taught me that just 2 days ago I was talking to Samantha, and we are enveloped in a lot of medical bills, from my daughter being thrown from the horse, you may remember that. My son did something stupid the other day. That's coming to cost us a lot of money. And so I look back and I realize, wait a minute, this is a puddle of water, and we lived through a flood. We're not going to let ourselves drown in a puddle of water when we've been through the flood. We've been through drowning in a lake of confusion and hopelessness and despair. We're not going to let a little puddle of medical bills or a little puddle of financial pressure send us over the edge. We've been through too much. And so this Christmas, I hope that you're able to experience a great sense of gratitude, a great sense of hope. And my prayer today is that each and every one of you is able to cultivate a heart of expectation, even though right now you really don't know what's going to happen.